be a special class in honor of actually having taught this class now for 3 years. And this class began at the beginning of COVID as an offering to help physicians in a time of crisis and people working in the medical system at the beginning of COVID. And it has evolved from there. And as I was thinking about celebrating that today, the theme of today's class is actually sort of the opposite of serious, and the idea that we can just enjoy things just to enjoy them. And they can just be good just because they're good, and they can be fun and designed to feel good. And so we often think of yoga as serious and exercise as serious and life as serious and so many things to fix and change. And so today's class is an invitation to be in the moment and to just enjoy and to remember that yoga can be that for each of us, and that sometimes letting go of that seriousness and just allowing ourselves to be together and have fun and be in community and show up on Saturdays and or whenever you're taking this class on YouTube, just with joy and presence, and enjoy what feels good. Nothing to do, nothing to accomplish, and it doesn't have to be part of some huge values-driven lifestyle. It can just be moments of pleasure and joy. And so with that invitation of lightness, find your sit bones, and I invite you to sit up atop a block or a blanket because it feels better when you do, or a bolster if you have one. And if you don't have one, consider getting yourself one. A little lift in life is not a crutch. It just makes things feel better. So why not? Have your hips above your knees so your hip flexors can open and release. Most of us spend our days crunched. And so in yoga, we offer the invitation of tilting that pelvic bowl forward and aligning your spine. So as we arrive here together on our mats, find your ischial spines or your sit bones and connect them down into the earth or the floor, and take a moment without judgment and move the flesh of your seat to find that steadiness. Let it feel good and enjoy a moment of feeling good, feeling connected to the earth, pausing and slowing down. And tilt your pelvic bowl forward and stack your spine, each vertebrae one atop the other, lightly and easefully, noticing that when we take that time, it feels better. And stretch the neck, and you can bring your fingers to your post-auricular bones and reach those tall towards the sky. Reach the crown of your head tall towards the sky, and take in a long, deep inhale and a huge exhale. Let it feel good, the breath. And being in the moment here, enjoy the inhale and the exhale, with the intent of letting the breath feel good. We so often hold our breath, allowing ourselves to breathe in deeply and letting that breath circulate everywhere. Oxygen feeding and nourishing every nook and cranny. And exhale, releasing what we don't want anymore. Using the breath as a vehicle, an easy vehicle, not a serious vehicle, just with ease, breathing in and breathing out. And another big, long, deep breath. And an exhale, let it out. And pause here for a moment. Once again, notice how you feel and enjoy it. Taking that moment to notice what feels good. The invitation of today's class is to move in ways that feel good, adapt whatever cues I give to things that feel good. And I'm choosing things that feel good to me, knowing that everybody is different. And so notice what feels good to your body. I invite you now to flip your palms open and notice if that feels good, palms on your thighs. And once again, draw your attention to your sit bones and allow the connection into the earth to feel good. Allow your pelvis to feel good, your spine to feel good, reaching the crown of your head towards the sky, inhaling to feel good. And on the exhale, drop your shoulders to feel good. And take a moment here with palms open to let in this idea of what feels good. Often we feel it's complacent or not productive to allow what feels good. And yet, in my experience, when we feel good, that's when the really good ideas, the inspiration, and what you want comes to fruition. And so letting yourself sit in this moment of pause, of non-productivity, just to feel good. Noticing it might feel uncomfortable, and let it just percolate in. And if your mind goes to what doesn't feel good, you can send it good wishes and then draw your attention to something that perhaps does. And I invite you to bring one hand to heart and the other hand to top, checking in with your own heart space and allowing yourself to consider what feels good to your heart. Perhaps what you'd like more of to feel good or less of. Not in a serious way, but what would feel good? What would be fun? What would you enjoy doing a little bit more of today? Perhaps it's even just enjoying this next hour on your mat. Can you just allow yourself the joy, being in the moment? Breathe in what feels good. And on the exhale, let the seriousness and the projects go. Breathing in kindness and compassion and love. And letting go of any angst or struggle about life struggles. Breathing in safety in this moment. And breathing out the stress and anxiety of the future, judgments of the past. Breathing in presence. And breathing out whatever would like to go. And taking a moment here together, also acknowledging the community, one of the unanticipated benefits of this Zoom yoga, the community that has developed and grown over the last few years. Many of you have now met in person at retreats, and many of us meet just weekly here on Zoom. You send me beautiful emails of thanks. And so the power of community and the power of others and the power of connection, just appreciating that in and of itself, how good that can feel, how nourishing and healing that can be. Allowing that when we show up just as ourselves, offering something that feels good to us, all of the beautiful things that can come from that. And so taking a moment to connect to yourself. Where do you show up in your beautifulness, offering yourself, and beautiful things happen? Where might you like to do more of that? Where might showing up with lightness and fun and a little bit of humor, perhaps this idea of delight, how might that add to your life and the lives of others? Taking in a big inhale, letting those ideas just percolate. And an exhale, letting it out. And so as we begin today, a reminder that the goal of yoga is not headstands. It's not working hard. It's not exercise. The goal of yoga is to be. The goal of yoga is to know yourself. The goal of yoga is to find appreciation, to pause, to be present, and to enjoy being in the moment. And so with that offering, I invite you to bring your hands together, rub them together, creating a little bit of warmth. Bring your thumbs into your sternum and set your own intention, aspiration, or wish for your time on your mat today, and perhaps the weekend and the week going forward. What is your aspiration or wish? What would you like to enjoy? How could you find more joy and presence and ease? When you're ready, lower your hands and open your eyes, and we'll come back together into our Zoom space and just notice how you feel for a moment, giving yourself a few moments to transition and feel good. No rush, no urgency. When you're ready, bring your hands lightly to your hips by your sides, wiggle your fingers. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Your right thumb and middle finger will grab your left wrist and pull that left wrist skyward. Enjoy the side body stretch. Do a little shimmy, have a little fun with it. Huge inhale. Exhale, a delicious exhale, tip to the left and enjoy the stretch and the lengthening. Huge breath in, filling every nook and cranny of that left side that hasn't perhaps gotten any breath or attention. And this long, smooth, delightful exhale, releasing and letting go. Inhale, bring your waist back to center, hands back to center. Flip the clasp of your wrists to the opposite side, left thumb and middle finger grab the right wrist. Inhale, stretch tall. Lengthen the right side body and enjoy the stretch. Exhale, gently tip to the left and enjoy all of the delight and beautifulness that opens up on the right side, breathing into it with kindness. Inhale. Bathe and nourish every nook and cranny and give yourself a moment to enjoy even the tiniest little fibers at the top of the waist. Exhale, tip a little farther to the right and enjoy. Come back to center. Unclasp your hands. You'll clasp your fingers together. Flip your palms to the sky. Shimmy your elbows with a little dance by your ears. And once again, do what works for you. Adapt as needed. Engage your belly and your navel here. Reach your palms towards the sky on the inhale, slight arch back. Exhale, round forward. Suck your navel all the way back towards the back wall. Palms reach forward, head reaches forward. And enjoy this cat stretch here. Inhale, slight arch back, reach tall towards the sky. Enjoy the spine movement. Exhale, round forward into cat pose. Allowing yourself to bathe the spine with breath and movement. Inhale, reach tall. Use your belly and your core to keep yourself safe. Your back feeling good, nourished, be kind. Exhale, round and suck your belly all the way back. Press your palms towards the front, allowing yourself to just enjoy the moment here. No real purpose, no agenda. Inhale, arch tall, allowing that to just feel good. Exhale, open your arms out towards the side. Press your palms into the side wall. Pinch your scapula together and enjoy all those sensations, perhaps a lot of them. Spread your fingers wide, 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 and enjoy that energy and relax. Once again, stretch your fingers wide, pinch your scapula together, enjoy the abundance of sensations, and exhale, relax. Wrap your arms in front of you, right elbow in under the left, and give yourself a big hug. Wiggle your fingers to the midline of the scapula on either side. Lift your elbows up over your chest with kindness for whatever's in the way, and lower them down gently. Drop your chin into your chest, release your neck, upper back, lower back. Roll forward wherever it feels good to you, and roll as much as you wish. Huge inhale into all the nooks and crannies and fibers of the upper back. And exhale, relax, fold forward a tiny bit more. Inhale, unroll, coming up to a seat. Stretch your neck tall, engage your belly, and suck your navel forward a tiny bit. Your belly's fully engaged as you give yourself another big hug. Squeeze tight. Noticing we often wait for others to give us a hug and make us feel good, and yet we can do this ourselves. Untangle your arms, stretch them wide towards the side walls. Flex your wrists, spread your fingers wide once again. Remembering your fingers can give you energy when you're tired and your body is cranking. Pinch your scapula together. Notice even these tiny little movements. Exhale, relax. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction, whichever the opposite was for you, left under right for me. Wiggle your fingers to the midline of the scapula. Once again, pick your elbows up over your chest, lower it down gently. Lower your chin to your chest and curl forward. Taking good care today to pay attention to your belly, not because we're firming our core, but because it's kind to our back. And when our bellies are taking control of things, we feel better. So breathing in, belly engaged, opening up the back ribs, fanning them as wide as you can with the breath. And exhale, curl forward a tiny bit more, release your head and neck and enjoy. Huge inhale once again. In long, smooth, flushing out breath, releasing. Bring your chin back to shoulder height, uncurling. Reach the crown of your head tall. Untangle your arms. Stretch them wide towards the side walls once again and lower your hands. Roll your shoulders out 3 times, back and forward. Stretch your legs long in front. I encourage you to stay up on whatever you're sitting on, but if you want to lower down, feel free, and move the flesh of your seat with kindness out of the way, finding your ischial spines and connecting them downward. Flex your ankles so your toes flex towards your knees. Your legs can be a little bit apart, not tight together. Engage your belly once again. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward. Bring your hands to your thighs and slide forward, hinge at the waist just a tiny bit. Subtle is significant, and notice the waking up of the back of the legs and enjoy it. Spread your toes wide and notice all the abundance of sensations and enjoy that. Wiggle your toes, notice how they feel. Again, subtle is significant. We often think we have to do so many things to feel differently. Let the energy and the tingles just wiggle through you. Slide your hands slightly farther forward. Hinge at the waist. You're not folded or rounded, and enjoy the energetic shifts in the back of the legs. Notice everything. Point your toes and flex your ankles, toes towards your knees. Slide forward another inch or so. Belly is engaged. Heart shines forward. Crown of the head still reaching towards the sky. Slide forward a little bit more as long as it's kind. And breathe into the energy moving with love and kindness. And allow yourself to enjoy it. Not thinking about how you're stretching your hamstrings or doing something specific, but just enjoy the energy moving. Huge breath into any little pockets of tightness or crankiness. And exhale, slide forward a smidge more. Release. Bend your elbows a little bit if that feels good, and release a wee bit more. Notice any tingling. Wiggle your toes lightly if that needs to happen. Huge breath in, using the breath as a way of spreading kindness and healing and whatever feels good. And hinge forward a smidge more, once more on the exhale. Slide your palms up your thighs. Spread your legs wide, wide, wide. Once again, find your sit bones. Be kind here. Find a stable root and core. Your knees are mostly straight. Ankles are flexed. Toes reach towards your knees. Lower your hands towards the floor. If you're up on something, your legs, this will probably be just enough. You can bend your elbows. Palms will be flat. Take your hands and spread your fingers wide, wide, wide. Use your fingers and your toes to help you shift energy. Spreading your fingers wide, all 10 palmar surface of the knuckles on the floor, the palms flat to the floor, and enjoy the legs here. Notice all the shifts. If you wish, you can walk your hands forward a tiny bit more, bend your elbows a tiny bit more. Hinge at the waist here. And if you're on a block or a bolster, you're tilting your pelvic bowl forward. Again, subtle is significant. Spread your toes wide, 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 and enjoy the energy. Exhale, relax, bend your elbows and inch forward a tiny, tiny bit. Subtle, so significant, and enjoy the energetic shifts here. Feels really good if you pause to enjoy it. Noticing that when we move slow and we focus on the breath, lots happens. Breathing in. Exhale, breathing out, and enjoy. Bend your elbows a tiny bit more. Pause here and be present in the moment. Allow yourself to enjoy this pause here. Your mind might think you're doing nothing, and yet so much is happening on the cellular level, energetic level, allowing the shifts to happen as you pause and be present with all of that energy moving. Especially if your body's been feeling sludgy or tired, noticing that even these tiny things can make you feel very different. Slowly walk your hands back up to your groin. Reach your arms out and up gracefully. Reach them tall, tall, tall. Lengthen your side body. Engage your waist. Reach as tall as you can. Belly is engaged here. Right hand comes to the right thigh. Slide it down the right leg towards your right ankle. Lengthen and open up the left waist. Huge in-breath here. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Open up the whole left side body. Breathing in and out here. Huge breath in. Bathing every nook and cranny with kindness. Letting all that feel-good stuff spread around. And exhale, gaze a tiny bit more to the left here. Letting stuff go. Press into that right hand, reach tall. Use your belly to support you. Inhale, reach tall. Lengthen both side bodies, enjoy it. Exhale, left hand comes to the left leg. Slide down the left leg, right hip grounds downward, right side body pops open. Almost let it pop open with this idea of joy. Breathing into every nook and cranny, stuff that feels good. Focusing on this idea of letting yourself feel good. And exhale, gaze over to the right shoulder, if that works for your neck, and release. Huge breath in. Exhale, let it out. One more breath here. Slide up the left leg, reach both arms up towards the sky. Bring your arms to the outer edges of your thighs, slide them forward. You'll sweep your knees around and come to hands and knees, taking out the block or whatever you happen to be sitting on. And when you get to hands and knees, take a minute so it feels good. If you need a blanket under your knees, do that. And notice your wrists. Be kind to your wrists. Spread your fingers wide, 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 equal pie shapes. Press all 10 knuckles down into the floor, both palmar surfaces into the floor. Humeral heads engaged in the shoulder sockets. Back is flat. Engage your belly. You could balance a tray on your back. And notice your wrists and how they feel good. Do they have discomfort? Rock a little bit forward and back and notice the spot that feels good. Let it feel good. It doesn't have to be hard or hurt to make progress. Turn your fingers to the outside of the mat and you'll rock gently, not overdoing it, releasing a little bit in the forearms. Bring your fingers towards your toes, towards your knees, pardon me, well, and your toes. You're going to shift your weight back and forward a little bit. Once again, not overdoing it, but enjoying the energy shifts. Allowing that energy to move, go into the cranky spots and just shift things around lightly, perhaps visualizing the energy just dancing. Even this can bring a little bit of joy. It releases the tension, creates a little lightness, letting go of the sledge. Bring your fingers back to the sides and back to the front. Once again, taking a minute to set them up so your wrists feel good. And notice your knees if they feel good. Inhale, come into cow pose and let yourself enjoy it. The front of the belly stretches and lengthens. Breathing all the way down into that belly, into every tiny muscle fiber. Exhale, round into cat. Suck that navel all the way up and enjoy fully every muscle fiber opening here. Moving slowly, especially for those of you who have had body issues recently. I know many of you have been struggling with illness or cranky things in your body. Being kind. Inhale, round your back, coming into cow and letting it feel good. If it doesn't feel good, do less. Exhale, round. Suck that navel all the way up, kindly and gently. Drop your head. Release. Your belly is fully engaged, sucking all the way towards the sky. Exhale, come back to tabletop. Drop down to your elbows. We're going to come into puppy pose because my shoulders love it and it feels good to me. Elbows will be on the earth. Your forearms are shoulder width, palms on the earth, fingers spread wide, wide, wide. You'll shift your hips back and your forehead will come to the floor. Notice the release in your shoulders here. For those of you who carry a lot of tension in your shoulders, send the breath there, send your hips back. The tops of your feet are light on the floor, breathing in here. Filling your chest with the breath. Exhale, let it out. Allowing yourself to enjoy all the sensations on the in-breath. Every little tiny muscle fiber waking up. Your chest filling and expanding as full as it can with the breath. Exhale, let it out. One more breath here. Noticing what feels good, maybe on the edge of being too much, making sure you don't overdo it, learning where too much is. Coming back up to hands and knees. We're going to walk our hands forward, a handprint, curl your toes, and lift up to downward dog. And allow yourself to enjoy downward dog. Downward dog is delicious if you let yourself enjoy it. Pause here, taking good care of your hands and your wrists. Reach your sit bones towards the sky. Downward dog is a spine lengthener. Let your spine lengthen. Reach those sit bones as high as you can. Lower your head and forehead towards the floor. Lift up onto your tippy toes, reaching high, high, high. Exhale, lower your heels towards the floor and enjoy all the sensations and energetic shifts here. Your belly is engaged, arms are engaged, working to allow you to feel good. Reach your sit bones towards the sky, press your palms into the floor. So the palms are flat, sit bones reach towards the sky, and enjoying the backs of the legs, the spine release, breathing into it. Exhale, let it out. One more huge in-breath. Exhale, let it out. One more big breath, just flushing the breath in and out and enjoying what moves and shifts. Walk your hands back towards your heels and allow yourself to come into a forward fold. You might want to widen your feet if that feels good. Bring your hands to your elbows, lift up all 10 toes and spread them wide, wide, wide. Notice the four corners of your feet grounded into the earth. Lower your toes down and allow your head and neck to release completely. Your knees are bent generously. Letting go here. Noticing the shifts. Lower your hands to the floor. Left palm is going to come to the floor, fingers spread wide. Bend your left knee, straight your right, twist to the right and reach your right arm towards the sky. Enjoy the outer right IT band. Send some love to the right wrist, rolling in either direction. Switch sides, bend your right knee, right hand comes to the floor, left knee straightens, twist to the left, look skyward. Enjoy releasing that left wrist. Bring your left hand to the floor. Engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch, like pearls on a string, doing it with grace. And when you arrive, let the blood flow adjust and adapt. Giving yourself a moment, no rush, no hurry. A lot of people's nervous systems take time to adjust to standing upright. Lift up all 10 toes, lower them down, spread them wide. Draw the earth's energy up through your legs into your pelvis. Tuck your pelvis, align your spine, heart is light. Breathe in all the way up, reach the crown of your head to the sky. Exhale, drop your shoulders, palms open towards the front, Tadasana, mountain pose. Taking a moment to enjoy mountain pose. We often move right on to the other poses without enjoying it. Take a huge inhale, drawing up that earth's energy through the soles of your feet, all the way into your belly, all the way into your chest. Exhale, release, and enjoy. Close your eyes and pause here for a moment, letting yourself enjoy all the sensations here. Lots of tingles, things moving. You can wiggle your fingers lightly and just enjoy for a moment. We're going to open our arms out and up towards the sky. Once again, grasp your left thumb and middle finger to your right wrist and inhale, stretch tall. Use your belly here to grow yourself as tall as you possibly can. Huge inhale, everything engaged. Exhale, tip to the left and enjoy the right side body here. Sending the breath in and out everywhere. Huge inhale into every nook and cranny. Exhale, release, tip. Use your core to come back upright. Switch hands. Inhale, reach tall, lengthen all the way through the left foot, through the left wrist, towards the sky. Huge in-breath. Exhale, tilt to the left and allow yourself to just enjoy a delicious stretch of every little piece of that left side body. Breathe in and out. Using your belly to protect your back here. One more inhale and exhale. Come back to center. Interlace your fingers, flip them towards the sky. We're going to do a standing cat-cow. They all work a little bit differently. Flip your palms towards the sky once again. Slight arch back, protecting your back by using your belly. Exhale, round forward and suck your navel all the way back. The standing version uses a lot more core strength. Inhale, arch, reach towards the sky. Slight arch back. Don't overdo it. Exhale, round forward. Suck your navel all the way towards the back and your palms all the way towards the front. Inhale, reach tall and pause. Exhale, turn towards the side. Right arm comes behind, left arm reaches far, far front, and enjoy the opening in the shoulders. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, come back to center, use your belly. Exhale, twist to the left. Lots of release here. Inhale, arms come towards the sky, use your belly, twist back to center. Exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach towards the sky once again. Exhale, twist to the right, release. Use your belly, moving gently. Inhale, reach tall, use your belly, twist back to center. Exhale to the left, drop your right arm front, left arm in back. And reach your arms skyward once again. Twist back to center. Open your arms out towards the sky, towards the sidewalls, and lower them down. Roll your shoulders out for a moment, 3 times in the back and 3 times coming forward. Notice the balls of your feet. Lift up onto your tiptoes. Your heels are going to reach towards the sky, and pause here on your tiptoes. Notice any wiggles or wobbles. Bring some lightness into your fingers, relaxing in, not gripping as your body tends to tip. Focus on your belly here to help you stand tall, tall, tall. Bring your hands to heart center. Palms will come together. Thumbs come into the sternum, elbows out wide to help you with balance. Lifting up high, high, high once again. Slowly begin to bend your knees and lower down inch by inch by inch by inch. Use your belly and your center here. Lowering down, your hips will shift back slightly. Be kind to your knees here. Lowering all the way down to the bottom. Thumbs connecting into the sternum, and pause at the bottom. Take a big breath here. And an exhale, release. Press the thumbs into your sternum and slowly rise up. Your knees are going to energetically connect as you do so, and use your inner strength and center as you rise up inch by inch by inch by inch. Noticing lots of things wake up as you do. Reaching when you get to the top as high as you can. Noticing the urge to come down, and enjoy all the sensations here. Lots of different things awakening. Lifting high, high, high. Slowly lower your heels down towards the floor. Lift up your toes, wiggle them, release your hands, wiggle them. You can roll your ankles out in either direction. We're going to do a dancer pose because it's fun. Notice your left leg, ground it down into the earth, and you'll lift up all 5 toes, spread them wide, and lower them down into the floor like roots. Gifting yourself the roots into the earth. You're going to take your right knee, bend it up to hip height, coming to 90 degrees. Your right ankle is loose. Your right hand's going to slide down over the top of the right thigh, over the right knee, and you'll draw your right heel towards your rear end. If you struggle with balance, use the wall. You can pause here. Notice your hips. Your hips should be even. Taking time to organize yourself before you move on. This might feel good enough. The front of the right leg may feel wonderful. If you wish, bring your left arm towards the sky. Focus on your center here. Pausing here and enjoying the lines. Huge breath in. Notice if you're holding your breath. Exhale, tip forward. If that feels good to you, your left hand will reach forward. Your right foot will reach into your right hand and come to the spot that feels good. And enjoy. Allow yourself to enjoy without the judgment. Don't worry what it looks like. And if you're upright, enjoy that. Sometimes that feels more joyous. Letting yourself just have fun with it and play with it. Not serious, not strengthening, just enjoying the wiggles and the wobbles today, whatever they might look like. If you're tipped forward, come back upright. Lower your left hand to your left hip, release your right foot, and be kind. Undo any kinks, anything that's gripping. Noticing that sometimes we do grip to help ourselves and that we can take the time to undo it, not just moving on to the next thing. Notice your right foot, spread your toes wide, lower them into the earth to help you. Set yourself up for success. Root the right leg down like a tree trunk. Lift your left knee up to hip height. Your left hand is going to slide down the front of the left thigh, down the front of the shin. Draw your heel into your buttock and pause. Taking a moment here. Hips will be flat, even to the floor. Taking in a breath, finding your belly, finding that belly button today. Right fingers reach towards the sky if that feels good, and pause. Pause here before moving on. Letting things adjust, adapt, enjoying the stretch in this position, not in a hurry to do more. Breathe into it. If it would feel good, tip forward, coming into more dancer-like. Knowing that dancers actually look in all positions. So I don't believe in any full expressions of the pose or anything like that. Just allow yourself to enjoy. Breathe in and out here in whatever your dancer looks like. Having fun being a dancer. Some of us were dancers when we were little, or we loved the idea of being a dancer, but thought we never were one. So let yourself have fun with that today. Once again, just a chance to be together and enjoy whatever our bodies can do in this moment, and enjoy what feels good about them. Maybe even just a little stretch feels good. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Use your belly here. Lower your hand to your right hip, lower your left foot, and wiggle it out. Rolling your shoulders, rolling your ankles, and enjoying for a moment. We're going to come to the top of the mat, and feet will be hips width. We'll open our arms out and up towards the sky with a slight arch back. Fold forward, forward, fold. Inhale for a half lift. The crown of your head is going to reach forward. Rear end's going to stick back, and pause here and enjoy. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale once again for a half lift. Your hands can be on your shins or your thighs. Your rear end's really sticking out. You should send some love to the back of the legs and let it feel good. Heart is shining forward. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands and step your feet back to plank. Plank is one of those positions that we think is a lot of work. So taking a moment just to have fun with it, notice your belly, notice your back, notice your toes. Take in a breath. Drop your heels to the left and reach your right arm to the sky, coming into a side plank because I think that is fun. Reach the right hand towards the sky. If this isn't fun for you, lower your left knee. Reach that right arm towards the sky, gaze towards it if it feels good. If you want, you can lower your right hand into the left hip crease. Notice if that feels good. Reach the right arm back up, wiggle your fingers in that side plank. Enjoying that your body can do this. Lower your right arm over the right ear, lengthen the whole right side body. Wiggling your fingers. Reach your right arm towards the sky once again. Come back to plank. Even yourself out. Find that center. Be kind to your hands. Drop your heels to the right this time. Left hand reaches towards the sky. Notice how it feels. If you need to bend to the right knee, do that. Reach your left hand over the top. Left ear stretching long if that feels good to you. Or reach it up to the sky or drop it into the right hip crease and roll the shoulder open. You can play with what feels good and have fun with it. Reach the left hand towards the sky. Come back to plank. Find your center. Tip forward onto your tippy toes. Bend your knees, untuck your toes. Elbows are going to draw in towards you. Roll down chaturanga towards the earth. And pause with your third eye on the floor. Taking a moment here to notice how it feels. The weight is out of your hands. Front of the hip bones pressing into the earth, tops of the feet on the earth. We spend very little time on our belly, letting ourselves enjoy that. Huge in-breath. And on exhale, lift up into a low cobra. Heart shines forward, crown of the head reaches forward. Let your back enjoy this. Exhale, lower down. Once again, inhale for low cobra, heart shines forward. Enjoy it. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes, press into your hands. We'll come back up to downward dog. Let it feel good. Taking a moment here, not rushing right through, but enjoying the stretching and wherever your body stretches when you arrive here. It may feel very different than the last one we did. Finding both palms on the earth, all 10 knuckles. Be kind to your wrists. Connect with your left ball of the foot. Raise the right leg towards the sky. Bend the right knee and stack the hips and enjoy the front of the right hip. Roll your right ankle in one direction and then the other. Letting it feel good. Right glute likely feels alive here. Roll it in either direction. Bring your hips back to center. We're going to come into a pigeon pose because it feels wonderful to me. If you don't like pigeon, just come to downward dog and hang out there for a moment. Huge inhale, press your heel into the back wall. Exhale, bring your knee between your hands. Your right knee is going to come to the outer right edge of the mat. Right foot's going to come to the left side and you'll untuck the back toes, wiggle them back. Come up onto your wrists and stretch the crown of your head towards the sky. The front of the belly will stretch, the hips will open, and allow yourself just to enjoy it for a few moments here. Most people love pigeon. There's a lot of energy in the hips. Some people don't. And if it bothers your knees, opt out and just hang out in downward dog. Downward dog itself has a tremendous amount of benefit. One more huge drink of breath, pouring it down in through your chest, all the way down into the groin area here as you're in an upright pigeon. Exhale, blow it out and sink in a tiny bit more. Perhaps wiggle that back foot back a little more. Lower your palms back to the floor, curl the back toes, come back to downward dog, and we'll meet here for anyone who opted out of pigeon. Untangle your hips, perhaps walk the dog. And those of you who are in downward dog longer, you're doing more shoulder strengthening. And downward dog is wonderful. Inversions actually shift perspective. So you can think about that while you're hanging out upside down. Inhale, raise your left leg towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip and roll the ankle in either direction. Allowing yourself to just really enjoy this. Enjoy all the sensations in the front of the left hip area, your glute waking up. Noticing your arms and your legs. Straight that left leg, reach it backwards, heel presses into the back wall. Exhale, bring it between your hands, coming into pigeon on this side. Left knee on the left side of the mat, left foot on the right side of the mat, and allow yourself to reach up tall. It's an up pigeon. Hands will be on the floor. I like to be up on my fists. You may want to untuck the back foot and bring your knee back a little bit. If this doesn't work for you, just stay in downward dog. I don't do pigeon that often, and yet it's one of my most very favorite poses. So in the spirit of just enjoying yoga and what feels good, I do want to offer it to those for whom pigeon feels amazing, because there are quite a few people. Breathing in down through your throat, down all the way into your groin and the belly and the hips. Bathing them with the breath. Exhale, releasing tension. 2 more breaths here. As you reach the crown of your head towards the sky, notice your shoulders. On the exhale, drop them. Let yourself sink in. Let the breath flow through you. 1 more breath. Bring your palms to the earth, curl the back toes, untuck the back toes, and coming back to downward dog, enjoying it. Lift up onto your tiptoes and lower your heels towards the floor. We'll raise our right leg towards the sky. Gently bring it between your hands, coming up into a warrior 1. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Wiggle the right toes forward, tuck your right hip back, left hip forward, sink into your hips. Huge inhale, stretch tall, tall, tall. Exhale your arms out towards the side, reclasp them at your sacrum, press your hands towards the floor, shoulders down and back, heart shines forward. Breathing into everything that pops open here. Exhale, reach your fist towards the floor, back is arched slightly, send some breath to the left calf. Huge breath in and huge breath out. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, lower your hands on either side of that right foot, hop your right foot forward, come into a pyramid pose. Both toes reach forward, tuck your right hip back and your left hip forward. Lots of beautiful, enjoyable sensations in the back of the right leg. Send the breath there. Enjoying the hamstring here. Lifting up all 5 toes on the right foot. Increasing the joy, wiggling them. Lowering them down. Shift your weight forward into your toes. Lower your heels. Notice how it feels. Step your back foot forward to meet the front foot. Sink your hips down, hands come to heart center, come into a chair pose. Your hips will sink back, 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 and allow yourself to enjoy the chair pose. It's kind of fun. Lift up all 10 toes. I used to think it was so much work, but let yourself enjoy it. All 10 toes lift up, thumbs press into the sternum and lower your toes down. Some of you might want to reach your arms forward. That does not bring me joy because I have a hurt shoulder. So I like to keep my thumbs right into my sternum, remembering that what feels good to you is what's good for you. Let yourself feel good. It doesn't have to be hard or a task to take good care of yourself. When it feels good, it feels good. Lower your hands to the floor, shoot your hips up towards the sky, head drops towards the floor. step your right foot back. We're going to come right into a warrior one from here. Reach your arms up, coming up into warrior one. You're going to tack your left hip back, right hip forward. Reach your arms towards the sky. Exhale, sink in. Take a moment and just make sure your feet are not wonky. Inhale, reach tall. Enjoy the lengthening side body. Exhale, sink in. Reach your arms out towards the side walls. Reclasp them at your sacrum. Press your fists down and back. Heart shines forward. Taking a moment to let that heart be seen, the light shining forward. Breathing in, nourishing your whole body with the light and all the things that feel good in this moment. Exhale, release and enjoy. Perhaps as you take in this in-breath, on the out-breath, sending that lightness and connection to everyone else here practicing together today, all over the world. Exhale, let it out. Reach both arms up towards the sky. Exhale, lower your hands, hop the back foot forward, coming into pyramid pose on this side. Letting that left hamstring have some fun and joy. Lifting up the front toes, lowering them down, shifting your weight onto your toes, back heel comes up, lowering it down, breathing into the back of the left leg here. Huge inhale. Exhale, fold forward a tiny bit and really enjoy it. One more breath here. Sending love to the back of the left leg. Tack the left hip back and the right hip forward. Noticing the subtlety and the significance of tiny little micro movements. Bring the back foot forward to meet the front foot. Bend your knees. You're going to bring your hips towards the floor. Open your feet, and we're going to come into a yogi squat for a moment here. Your knees will be apart, your heels will lower towards the earth, elbows come into the knees, and hands come to heart center. Lowering your heels and just sending the energy into that groin area, space we carry so much tension and judgment. Letting yourself just hang out here and enjoy it in whatever way it looks like. Breathing in, drinking the breath all the way down into the groin space. And exhale, let it out. 2 more breaths. Lower your hands to the floor. You'll bring your feet to face front. Come into an easy forward fold, release. Walk your hands forward, coming down onto your knees. You're gonna tuck your toes behind you. We're gonna come into broken toe, which for many of you might not feel joyful, but I love the release. Coming up onto your knees will be hips width. You'll feel all 10 toes, and you'll take a moment just to release each and every toe. So each and every toe gets a little bit of love and attention here. And you'll slowly lean your hips back on towards your heels to a spot that feels good, not overdoing it. Sending love and attention to every tiny little fiber between the toes. Letting yourself enjoy this, not seeing it as torture or the hard so that it feels good later, but enjoying the tingles and the awakening and lifting up to a point where it doesn't hurt. So it's just a lot of fun sensations and movement and energetic shifts. Allowing yourself here to pause and share in the energy with everyone else here, enjoying our toes, appreciating all the things that they do for us. One more breath. Exhale, let it out. Lower your hands to the floor and bang your feet, bang your toes, releasing, enjoying. You can bang out whatever else. Let yourself really enjoy the banging. We don't get to bang on the floor very often as grown-ups. And you'll slide your feet around towards the front, coming onto your hips, and stretch your legs long in front of you. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way to connect your sit bones into the earth. Bring your arms parallel to your legs. Ankles will be flexed. Engage your belly and roll down inch by inch until you arrive on the floor. Taking a moment when you arrive to adjust. If you happen to arrive not on your mat, find a better arrival spot. Allowing your toes to fall to the outer edge of the mat, palms to fall open towards the sky, shoulders open. And take a moment to feel good here. Notice your breath. Notice the earth and what is holding you here. What support you have. And noticing what parts of your body feel good. We spend so much time noticing what doesn't feel good, but enjoying what feels good. Girl, what is the point? I think the point of all this is to actually feel more good. When we feel good, we share that feeling good with others. Flip your palms over to the floor, bend your knees, walk your feet towards your buttock. Your heels will come as close to your butt as you can. Fingers come towards your rear end, towards your heels as well. Press into your hands, press into the soles of your feet, lift your hips up, shimmy your shoulders underneath you and reach your hips skyward, coming into a bridge pose. Your knees will energetically connect. And if your feet are crunched under you, wiggle them out farther beyond, pressing your hips up as high, high, high as you can. Some of you will be able to clasp your hands under your hips. Some of you will grab the outer edges of your mat and tug your mat forward. Shimmy your shoulders under you, reaching high, 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 high as you can. Your hips and glutes waking up. Enjoy the front of your belly and spend a moment to send some attention to your heart. Let your heart float in your chest. Let it fill completely, anti-gravity. Let the blood flow down into your head space, into your chest. Lots of different sensations here. Taking a moment to enjoy as you reach your hips towards the sky. Focusing on what feels good. And if you're overdoing it, undo it till it feels good. Untuck your shoulders. Let go of the mat and slowly unroll your hips, lowering them to the floor. Draw your knees into your chest and roll side to side, massage your sacrum. Let that feel good, rolling all the way to the very edge. That very edge is sometimes the spot that feels the best. It gets the least attention, to where you almost tip. If it feels good to you, bring your hands to the soles of your feet, coming into happy baby, enjoying that. And if that feels good, press your knees in towards the floor. Breathing into your chest, to your groin, rocking side to side. Huge in breath and out breath. Bring the soles of your feet together, press your heels into your groin, move your chest out of the way once again, and enjoy the opening in the inner groin area. Huge breath in and out, release. Release your hands, lower your feet to the floor. Bring your knees together, feet apart. The sides of your feet will be lined up with the outer edge of your mat. Raise your arms over your head in an easy cactus shape if that works for your shoulders. If it doesn't, a T or by your sides. Take in an inhale. Exhale, drop your knees gently to the right. Left knee energetically reaches towards the right front corner of the mat. Send some breath and love into the left psoas. Breathing into it. And out. It would feel good on the next exhale. Gaze your chin to the left. And notice your heart here, sending it love as it's rolled open towards the sky. Letting it fill. Allowing yourself to enjoy an easy twist. Bring your gaze back to center and your knees back to center. Pick up your hips, bring them back to center if they are wonky. Huge inhale. Drop your knees to the left this time. Easy. Knees are together, feet are apart on the mat. It's a lovely wide twist that doesn't overcrunch your belly. It opens up different spots in the psoas and the front of the hips. Breathing into it. If it would feel good, gaze to the right. And if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. We always talk about hard, do the hard thing, but sometimes doing the easy thing is better for you. Allowing your body to let you know what it needs. Bring your gaze back to center and your knees back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together, knees apart, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. And you will bring your hands, one hand to heart, one hand to belly, and pause here. Taking a moment to enjoy. Enjoy your heart under your hand. Enjoy your belly under your hand. And enjoying Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclining butterfly, as a healing, restorative pose. It's an incredibly nourishing pose. Nourishment beyond food. Nourishment of the nervous system, nourishment of the heart. Nourishment of your emotions. Taking a moment here just to enjoy it. When you're ready, you can bring your hands to your outer thighs. Draw your knees together and stretch your legs long, coming into Shavasana. Some of you might wish to stay in Supta Baddha Konasana, and that's a beautiful alternative. If you're coming into Shavasana, bring your hands open towards by the sides of your hips, about 6 inches, palms open towards the sky. Toes relaxed, falling towards the outer front corners of the mat. And take a moment to be. Taking a moment to relax in fully. To let yourself settle in and enjoy. Let your body breathe for itself. Let the earth cradle you and hold you. And letting yourself relax in and enjoy for a few moments. If anyone wants to stay in Shavasana longer, please do. For those of you who would like to come out, gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Taking in a long inhale and stretching tall and allowing yourself to enjoy this beautiful drink of breath. Exhale, release, and enjoy. Bring your knees into your chest. Slowly roll over to one side and pause. Take a moment to enjoy this. And when you are ready, you can press into your hands and come up to a comfortable seat where we began. Find your sit bones and connect them deep into the earth. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward and align each vertebrae one atop the other. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. Hands rest lightly on your thighs. Palms open if that feels good. Taking the final moment here to notice what feels good. Allowing yourself to just enjoy and just be together here in this Zoom space, enjoying what felt good. Perhaps setting an intention to take more time just to be and just to enjoy. Bring a hand to heart and another hand atop, sending yourself good wishes and sending in everyone here practicing with us today good wishes. And reminding ourselves that when we do things that feel good to us, we feel better. We very often bring significant joy, meaning positivity and pleasure to the rest of the world as well. May you all have a beautiful week. May you all experience many things that feel good. May you take the time to pause and be present and notice and enjoy them. And may you take the time to share your joy with others. Have a beautiful week.